Um, she didn't make it to see her doctor then. The second week of September came around, and she was having so much pain in her back and lower left part of her spine that at that time we were still thinking it was sciatica. That I had to take her to the hospital, an ER, and have them look at her because it was just unbearable pain. They had her in ER for a while, and in an effort to block the pain, they put her on the most powerful um, painkiller they can give you. It's something they would give you for a surgical procedure. Of course, it's not something they can prescribe for her to take going home. And she at least she got some relief. Pain went away. Um, Leg mobility was still somewhat there. I think she did like a day and a half, 2 days in the hospital, then in the ER. And, they sent her home. They sent her home. They sent her home with a patch, narcotic-based patch that was right on the place, and there was a lot of instructions of not touching it, to touch it, when to change it, how long that dressing was supposed to be there and not be there. And we also had to take some other heavyweight painkillers, and that patch that we put that they had her put on directly on the spot that stayed on every few hours. I think it's like almost 12 hours or so. And then there was another patch that was on her shoulder that delivered medicine um, every so often. And then there was pills she had to take, and she didn't like it because it gave her hallucinogenic feelings. She felt like she was high and floating around, and she just didn't. She was. I just remember that night we got her home, and she just was not herself. She was like a drug addict who was on high. It was on a high, and she just was like seeing things and saying she saw things, and it was just sweating, and she couldn't drink enough to keep her cool. I remember trying to hold her and keep her still, but she's that hurt to hold her. She's wanted to kind of sit there, and so she couldn't make it up the stairs, and I was going to carry her, but she didn't want to do that. She said it hurt too much, so I kept her on the couch, and um, we had a walker for her also that by that time, and she I remember making it through that night, and pretty much into the next day, she went to the restroom, and I remember we had to have one of those odd little belts we put around that the hospital gave us to kind of be able to help a person get up and down and help them with their stability. And she didn't want to really wear it, but she had it on. It's like a harness, and she had the walker, and I was just kind of walking behind her holding this harness. And she's like, "Oh no, I can make it. I can make it. I'm feeling better." And the medicines were doing well. And I remember she got to the restroom and on her own. I remember I was waiting for her and outside the door, and we were on our way back from the restroom. It was all downstairs. Our house is not that big, so made it back from the bathroom. Well, on our way from the bathroom, maybe about 30 feet from the bathroom. She says, "Babe, you gotta carry me to the couch. I guess I'm not gonna make it. I think I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna fall."